Hi, and welcome to the Copyright Stuff, Part 2. Before we get into today's show, I'd like to provide you guys with an update with the fans cause from the Copyright Stuff Part 1. First, I'd like to address a technical issue with the Google form that was used to automatically send emails to the targets, Sony Pictures and Hit Entertainment. Due to a technical glitch I discovered, all the replies to messages you sent would come back to me. This is because of the way the Google form script works. So, here's what I did instead. Whenever you submit a response on the Google form, the email will come back to you with an informative paragraph with further instructions. When you hit reply, most email clients and services will address it to the target. If, however, the email is a Gmail address, that is mine and not the target's, the informative paragraph will contain the proper email address for the target, and all you have to do is replace it. Then, simply delete that paragraph and hit send. This way, it is still able to be sent to the target with little effort on your part. This will be how all future campaigns will work. Please note that it still will post your comments to the Tumblr blog automatically and that all of the previous links mentioned at the end of the Copyright Stuff Part 1 are still valid. I also wish to start an accompanying Twitter campaign with these letter drives. For the director's cut of Thomas and the Magic Railroad, you can either retweet the tweet linked to in the description or create your own tweet to Hit Entertainment and Sony Pictures about releasing the director's cut using #FixedTMR thoughts #FixedTMR as in Fix Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Now, one thing you may notice is that in targeting Lionsgate in my tweet, and you can too if you wish, and here's why. I heard back from Mattel, who owns Hit Entertainment, regarding Thomas and the Magic Railroad. They stated that they don't own the appropriate rights to OK release of the director's cut, but rather, through a licensing agreement, Lionsgate was the appropriate contact. It may now be Universal as they have since picked up the exclusive home distribution rights to Hit Entertainment from Lionsgate, but I'm not sure in this regard. So, please let me know if you do. But with that, I have some good news. I had previously tried calling Lionsgate to see if they'd consider releasing it. They neither confirmed nor denied that they own the rights, but they did give me a blanket statement that they don't accept unsolicited material. I insisted that it wasn't unsolicited material because I don't own the rights to Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Yet, they still insisted it was, and they hung up. However, I then remembered that, of all people, Britt Allcroft has since been releasing her magical adventures of Mumphy home videos through the Lionsgate label. So, I tried to get back in touch with Holly Wright, an assistant to Britt's that I previously had contact with. I then relayed to her exactly what I had just explained, and asked her if she could perhaps ask Lionsgate about it. She said while she couldn't promise anything, she did have a contact she could try to ask about the issue. She would then get back in touch with me through Facebook. Granted, this all happened back in August, and I have not heard back from her yet. But in the event she does get back in touch with me with an update, he'll be sure to let you guys know. Well, that's all I have on this campaign at the moment. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for the Copyright Stuff Part 2.
Today, on the Copyright Stuff, Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, an online encyclopedia that is the first most well-known wiki or collaborative approach where anyone can contribute. Facebook, originally designed for college students, it now allows anyone 13 or older to communicate with each other. YouTube, the most popular video sharing site. However, what do all these sites have in common? It's not what you think. They all have similar features to a hit 70s PBS show. Today, we will learn more about that show, Zoom, and how the nature of its remake could make the current copyright holder hard to find. previous part, we learned what happened when the movie Grit All Profit Vision and wrote down was drastically different from what was released to the public. However, what if I told you that I went through a similar experience? No, really, I did. You see, a TV show I was a fan of allowed fan mail to be sent into the show. Select pieces of the mail would be read on the show. So, I wrote them a fan letter, sealed it in an envelope, addressed to someplace where they sing the zip code 02134. And the problem? Unknown to me and everyone else, the show's network and the producers met and decided to cancel the show the month before I sent the idea in. So, like Grid Allcroft, the fine piece of letter I wrote never embraced the screen, big or small. But while Grid Incident was more so a form of typical studio 3D censorship, as I like to call it, mine was just sent in a little too late. So, it's like my letter was never sent in. Therefore, my idea in that letter was the Unsent idea. Now, I know what you're thinking. What kind of a show would allow some kid to send in fan mail to be read on the show? It all has to do with the format of that show. So, let me ask you this. Many of us have heard of Wikipedia, the wiki approach to the encyclopedia. Anyone can edit and contribute to a wiki. But what if Hollywood was like that? What if anyone could send in ideas for a movie or a TV show and potentially have it on the big screen or on TV? Even if it were possible, do you think kids would be able to contribute to the wiki? Well, in 1972, a sort of wiki approach to children's television premiered on PBS, produced by WGBH Boston and created by Christopher Sarson. Zoom was one of the biggest children's TV hits in the 1970s. Zoom was like a wiki, and that any kid could send in an idea for the show. It could be a skit, a video they made, a craft, a game, you name it. The only thing different than a wiki is that their ideas weren't immediately published to the tube. The producers reviewed all the ideas first, and if they liked it and decided to produce it, your idea could be seen by the world. Zoom also had many memorable moments, such as the Unsent introduction by Bernadette,
I'm Bernadette,
and the Zoomer adaptation to Alice in Wonderland, featuring Twinkle Twinkle Little Bat.
Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where you're at. Now, it goes like that. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where you're at.
Zoom was, for the majority of the part, unscripted. It helped kids just to be themselves. Zoom, though, didn't end in the 1970s. In 1999, Zoom piloted back to modern times, with Kate Taylor a former 70s Zoom producer in charge of production.
A production of WGBH, Boston.
Come on, you guys. Let's go.
Let's do it!
Come on and do. 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 Zoom, 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 zoom. Come on and do. 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 Zoom, 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 zoom. I'm Zoe.
Hey, I'm Jared.
Zoom. I'm Keiko.
I'm Pablo.
Zoom, zoom. I'm Elisa. I'm David. Zoom. And I'm Lemice. We're all plugged into one world now. So let's talk. We want to hear from you. Come on, give it a try. And if you like what you see, turn off the TV and do it. Zoom, 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 zoom. Come on and do. 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 Zoom, zoom, zoom. Come on and do. 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 Zoom, zoom.
Now, with the World Wide Web around, people could email ideas in, which you still can mail ideas in at the musical address.
B-double-O-M box 350, Boston, Mass. 02134.
Also, while the original goals were still maintained, we also wanted people to investigate the world around them, not just socially, but scientifically. The producers added a Zoom science segment for that purpose, and science experiments, challenges, and discoveries could be sent in for that segment. Of course, all the original parts of the show were maintained, including Ubby.
Hey, golden macaroni!
Stumbop, 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 thubbit, rubbercubbit. Abit salam zabak yabu navit sabam hello. Abba bubby double bubbies mavai navin, aben mabu zavix mavai gavin.
And Fanny Julie.
Fanny Dewey loves recess, but doesn't like to play. How could that be? Nice! Fanny Dewey likes hoops, but doesn't like circles. Huh?
A similar theme song and a fresh, multi-ethnic cast of 7 kids soon to be easily identified with both people who watched the 70s version as well as new, younger viewers. Zoom started very strong in the early years, but then producers noticed rating drops dating all the way back to 2002. The producers decided they would revamp the series to make it more modern. They added joke calls.
Hey, Francesco.
Oh, hey, Ma.
Hi. What did the math book say to the other math book?
I don't know.
I've got a lot of problems.
New version of the introduction.
Zoom! Everybody! Come on! Zoom! 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 Come on and zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Everybody! Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Hey, Nick!
and made it more modern in a number of other ways.
So guess what? What? Today, we're doing our show on a boat. Hey guys, come on board our ship, the Alabama.
However, PBS and the producers met in August of 2004, probably as they were wrapping up taping of the 7th season. They decided that instead of reinventing the series Zoom itself, they would create a fresh new series. With that, Zoom was cancelled. We will talk about what the new series was and a similar fate to come to it in the next part. However, the producers thought that rating drops for Zoom were caused by the target audience finding other things to watch. Nothing more, nothing less. I wouldn't blame them for thinking that. I probably would have done the same thing if I didn't know the truth. But the truth is that the viewers had nothing to do with the rating drops. The flaw is not even reported by the viewers.
I hate this channel.
No! No!
It is in how PBS schedules their programming. PBS has a specific prime time order. PBS stations can choose their own schedules for when those programs start and how to air their daytime, or in a word, children's programming. Zoom fell short of this. For example, Wisconsin Public Television, my local PBS station, noticed local ratings long before the national ratings were taken into account. Claiming the original viewers were finding other things to watch in that area, the programming department decided to take Zoom off the air completely in that local area. Other PBS stations did similar things around this time, or in some other local cases, Zoom could only be seen in less desirable times, like during weekends or school hours. This year, uncoincidentally, was 2002. The other thing that caused all the rating drops was the launch of PBS Kids Go, a 2-hour block dedicated to school-age audiences. Zoom is not an official part of this block, however. The only one officially part of the block, which appeared on October 11, 2004, was Postcards from Buster, Arthur, Maya and Miguel, and Cyber Chase. Because half of the block was new programming, they didn't know where to shove the lonely Zoom and put it on in less desirable times, if at all, as a result. Even though Zoom was cancelled by then, it didn't help the ratings much, did it? Zoom started getting pulled off the air in 2006. There was talk about putting the show on PBS Kids Sprout around April of that year, and Zoom, obviously, wasn't put on there. I believe it was because WGBH refused to support Sprout itself. This was because they would have to take down one of their cable digital stations to broadcast Sprout over the air. But with all points aside, Kate Taylor didn't express interest in either putting reruns on the air or in any PBS station, or even putting the show on TV. Did you hear what I said? Not WGBH, but Kate Taylor. But is it really as it seems? Is it really Kate Taylor's production team that owns the rights to Zoom? Or is WGBH not understanding that they still own the rights? Here, consider this. I was planning to have a screening of Zoom and Ghostwriter to promote my new goal for my Zoom petition, Gold Classics. But in order to do so, you need public performance rights. For example, if I want to take a big-time movie and show it to a public audience without seeking permission from the movie's producers first, it would be just as illegal as selling bootleg movies of the movie on the street. The same thing is true with Zoom, Ghostwriter, or any other copyrighted motion picture, television show, or other audiovisual work. So, I contacted WGBH and Sesame Workshop is correct for my screening. While I got no reply from Sesame Workshop, I got a reply from WGBH. That is why it caused today's run to Zoom to be up in arms. Here, I reproduce the email.
Dear Mr. Jace, thank you for your interest in WGBH. We always appreciate hearing from our viewers, listeners, and website visitors. Limited public performance rights are included with videos designated as AV or indexed. These videos may be shown in a classroom or screened by a public group for educational purposes, when no admission is charged for the viewing. These programs may be transmitted on a closed-circuit system within a building or single campus. Your purchase does not permit you to duplicate or alter the program for any purpose, to distribute the program through any wide access network, internet, open cable, open broadcast, LAN, satellite, telco, etc., or to digitize, encode and replace the program on a digital server. When WGBH, or other production entities, produces a show, we pay the people involved in making the show, actors, narrators, writers, musicians, people who provide us with stock footage or photos, for the right to use their work for a certain amount of years in certain contexts. When those rights expire, the permission to copy the show, or use the show in any way, is no longer ours to give. If we gave permission, we would be violating our agreements with those artists. In some cases, it is not possible to get the rights back. In other cases, it is possible, but only by hiring a team of people to recontact all of the artists and negotiate with them and pay them for new rights. Given our limited resources, we can't always afford to do that. If a video is not available, that means no one has the right to copy it, even WGBH, and there are no new copies for sale anywhere. However, it is still legal to buy a used legal copy, or to borrow a copy from a library that may still have one. For programs that had video distribution, but are now out of rights, you can try searching on eBay or Amazon.com for a copy. While a title may be out of distribution, eBay or Amazon may be selling off old stock and, therefore, may have a purchasable copy. We hope you continue to enjoy the programs on WGBH, produced in Boston, shared with the world. To support the WGBH programs and services you enjoy every day, we urge you to contact us at 617-300-2300, Monday, Friday, 9-5, or 800-492-1111 at other times, or pledging online at http://www.wgbh.org/pledge. And register with WGBH.org to receive exclusive access to My WGBH, a custom page for you to keep track of all your favorite programs, events, audio, video, and more, comment boards and rating feature, where you can share your opinion on any show, advance notice of screenings and events at our studios in Brighton, Massachusetts, premium discounts and coupons from local businesses, automatic entry into contests on WGBH.org, and free newsletters on the topics that matter most to you. Sincerely, WGBH Member Development and Services. WGBH enriches people's lives through programs and services that educate, inspire, and entertain, fostering citizenship and culture, the joy of learning, and the power of diverse perspectives.
As you can see, WGBH says they don't own the rights anymore. But with a semi-wiki approach to the show Zoom, there are issues that make it hard to say that. First off, Zoom had no actors. While acting was sometimes a part of the show, the majority of the show was unscripted. 32 total Zoomers were on from 1999 to 2005. One of them, Jared Nathan, unfortunately died in 2006 in a traffic accident, in which the driver was arrested drug. While the other 51 Zoomers were still alive, most of them are living normal lives. For example, Denise is the first of the Zoomers who is a parent, Keiko is a teacher, and interestingly, Zoomers Kyle and Noreen dated in the past. But some of them are still in show business. Taylor, for instance, was a cast member of the first season of Zoom's successor show. Mike is the lead singer of a band called the Zookeepers, and Caroline is the host of a science and technology show here on YouTube. Had WGBH had their way, all Zoomers would have to be recontacted to gain the right to the bits that use them in their segments. Although Zoom was for the most part unscripted, there were regular writers as a part of the production team. Zoom, for the most part, was written by the viewers. If WGBH was right, everyone who emailed or mailed the old-fashioned way an idea that was featured on the show, they too would have to be recontacted. That voids the disclaimer that was at the bottom of the Simpsons pages and at the end of every show.
All submissions become the property of Zoom
and will be eligible for inclusion in all Zoom media. This means that we can share your ideas with other Zoomers on TV, the web, in print materials, and in other Zoom ways. So, send it to Zoom.
PBS Kids requires that disclaimer for all children-generated content on the site and or the show. But even though it isn't explained in the This Means part, you still know it says all submissions become the property of Zoom. Not may become, not should become, but will become. And more importantly, it doesn't say all submissions become the property of Zoom and will be eligible for inclusion in all Zoom media until our rights to your submissions expire. But it doesn't stop there. The creation of Sesame Street would be included in other production entities. And they introduced the other show, Ghostwriter. Ghostwriter ended before Kay Taylor even dreamed of reviving Zoom. Ghostwriter also ended because of lack of funding and not lack of popularity, unlike Zoom.
We don't know where he came from.
He just showed up one night.
What is that thing?
He's not an alien.
What is he?
We think he might be a ghost.
Be serious.
You can see that?
He wants to be friends with us. He can't hear and he can't talk. He can read anything.
He takes letters and he writes with them.
We're the only ones who can see him. That means he wants you on the team.
You have to promise never to tell anybody about Ghostwriter.
Hey, cool.
We're the Ghostwriter team.
We check out clues and solve mysteries.
He's a ghost and he writes to us. Ghostwriter.
Ghostwriter. What a trip.
In the end, though, Sesame Workshop, then Children's Television Workshop, should have lost the rights to Ghostwriter just as Zoom premiered. But instead, Sesame Workshop issued in 2010 a DVD of the entire first season of Ghostwriter through Shout Factory. I have my own copy of the DVD, and I kid you not, WGBH's way was dead wrong for the series. It says copyright 2010, Sesame Workshop, all rights reserved. You might say, oh, they reissued the rights, but that is not possible. Ghostwriter went off the air completely before it went into syndication. It wasn't the syndication when it went on Noggin, now was it? Noggin launched in 1999. partnered with Viacom and Sesame Workshop, and Sesame Workshop pulled out of the network and went off the air. Therefore, it wasn't a syndicated broadcast. It was only because Sesame Workshop still owned the rights that it aired on Noggin, which rights would have allegedly expired in 1999. So, from 1992 up to today, Ghostwriter's copyright is still in effect through Sesame Workshop. It isn't just Sesame Workshop alone, but when PBS was thinking about a 24-hour PBS Kids Go channel, it wouldn't have contained only Zoom, but Kratts, Creatures, and Wishbone, whose rights would have expired, but it still lists all the right owners involved. Lyric Studios, who was bought out by Hit Entertainment, had redistribution rights for Wishbone. It was listed as Hit Entertainment's show in the official press release. Kratts Creatures also had been listed with the same companies listed at the end of the show: Paragon Entertainment, Kratts Brothers Company, and Maryland Public Television. So, the rights still in hand for the other shows in my Go Classics blog. Unfortunately, Zoom is the least likely to be in reruns due to copyright issues up in arms. Getting Zoom onto DVD, PBS Kids Spout, producing a new seasons for PBS, etc., all requires permission from the copyright holders. Is it WGBH? Or they write and say that it requires recontacting KTL's production team. Is it also right saying that it requires to recontacting all of your submitters and Zoom cast members in order to gain their rights? Is WGBH right when it comes to the rights of Zoom? And if only we could write to P.O. Box 350, maybe 02134 wouldn't be so distant anymore. And one day, we might see a third version of the show. But this will only happen once the copyright stuff gets sorted out.
Yo, we hear you came up with a great idea. Well, my dear, let's make this clear. See your idea right over here.
And what you write, just right up here.
On Zoom! Yeah, you know the address. PBSKids.org is the best.
Your parents and friends will all be impressed.
Millions of kids from the east to west. Watch Zoom! Send it to Zoom and watch Zoom! Check it out! Check it out!
We can't do it on our own. We need you to make it known
That everything you see right here can only be on Zoom
Because of every one of you.
Who?
You.
Feed us
A recipe.
Teach us
biology. Tell us a joke, show us a trick, a riddle, or some poetry.
So if you want to see it coming out of your TV,
Type it up, write it down
And ship it off to Zoom.
How?
email, send it to Zoom.
Or email
Cause you called the Zoom. If you got a video, give it up.
We'll put it on the show. A super zinger to Z-double-O-M-B.
Zoom. That you will be seeing up on the screen. Write your name and your address.
And do what?
Take a wild guess.
Email
Send it off to Zoom.
or email
You call the Zoom.
Email
Send it to Zoom.
Say who?
www.pbs.org.
Email
You know the who.
to Zoom
Z-double-O-M box 350.
Boston, Mass 02134 Send it to Zoom!
All submissions become the property of Zoom and will be eligible for inclusion in all Zoom media. This means that we can share your ideas with other Zoomers on TV,
The web and print materials.
and in other media. So send it to Zoom!
The goal for this week edition of the Copyright Stuff is my replacement for my 2 defunct petitions for a Zoom Season 8 and Go Classics. Our goal is to petition WGBH Boston and Shout Factory to release Zoom Season 1 from 1999 on a DVD box set. This way, we all can purchase Zoom for nostalgic purposes. I think most of us here that focus on Zoom have moved on from wanting a new season of Zoom, myself included. This letter drive works the same as it does for my campaign for the director's cut of Thomas and the Magic Railroad's release. For information on this and other letter drives, go to bit.ly/copyrightmail. To see the Zoom DVD campaign's template, go to bit.ly/02134 template. To sign the petition and email WGBH, go to zoom02134.tumblr.com/form-sign. The Twitter campaign for this goal can either be done by retweeting my tweet, which is linked in the description, or by creating your own tweet directed to WGBH and Shout Factory. The hashtag for this campaign is hashtag Zoom99 on DVD. That's Zoom99 on DVD. I highly recommend that if you have a Twitter account, that you participate in both these campaigns, because the only way fans can propose potential release ideas to Shout Factory is through their Facebook or Twitter account and not through email. Help me and millions of other Zoomers see Zoom once more. Now, I don't know when I'll make, let alone upload, the Copyright Stuff Part 3, especially since my aspirations towards Zoom's successor show, Fetch with Rough Ruffman, isn't in line with what me and Ruffman Fan 88-2 co-wrote back in 2011. Furthermore, since I started college, I would like to focus more on schoolwork, and when I do work for this channel, I'd like it to be focused on my fan edit, Ghostwriter's Adventures of Thomas and the Magic Railroad. I've been laying in that for long enough. However, I'll be sure to keep you updated with everything on this channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
I hate this channel.
No! No!